When writing the script for this video, I found it quite hard to figure this question out. When I first started the video, I had no idea how deep this video would get. I thought that this would just be done and dusted in a mere few hours, but boy oh boy, was I far from the truth. Chapter 1: Irish Dominance. I've created a video on my channel before on why Irish clubs are so dominant. It still remains my most viewed video, with 4.9k views from the time of making this video. I stated that Irish clubs were dominant, mostly because of the power they possess economically and player-wise and in the management. I went on to state that despite South Africa winning the URC last year, this season would be different, and the Irish would remain dominant. However, as the season progresses, I've seen that my point is valid. Leinster are top of the league, but in second place are Stormers and third place are Bulls. Fourth are Ulster. This is a slight problem for deciding because it's 2-2 in the top four. However, Munster are above Sharks, so I think Ireland take the win on this one. Chapter 2: Why I'm Wrong. Ireland have spent their entire time in the Pro 12, Celtic League, whatever you want to call it, but URC I shall name it for the rest of this video, no matter what time it was. Ireland have spent their time in the URC winning it, including their 26 win streak in 2021. But last season, despite everyone expecting a wondrous Ireland versus South Africa all-final, what we got was an all-South Africa final. To this fans, such as myself, is terrifying. The fact that 4 clubs, all able to stand their ground in the league, with 2 clubs winning titles, knocking out every Irish team who were considered strong, is not an easy feat. Honestly, even though this season Ireland are just higher on the leaderboard, the South African clubs are just so menacing. Chapter 3: The story of the first URC. The first ever South African game in the URC was Zebra vs Lions. Lions took the win 28-26. The next day, on the 25th of September, it was the Stormers' time to shine. The Stormers had lost to Benetton. Yes, Benetton, 22-18. At this point of the URC, Benetton weren't playing super, and to imagine the Stormers losing to them at this point is shocking considering just how good the Stormers are now. Yet it gets worse. The debut of the Bulls in the URC, they lost to a half Leinster A and half Leinster B, 31-3. This was also a shocking defeat to most now, but at the time, many thought South Africa were just bad. And then, the Sharks went down 42-17 to Munster. This was not a great start. It was awful. I think you all thought the second round would be better, but far from it. Connacht beat the Bulls 34-7. Shocking once again, because Connacht sucks. I still love them though. It wasn't much better for the Lions either. Despite being the only team to scrape a win against another side, the Lions went down 36-13 to the Scarlets. However, not all hope was lost. A close battle between Glasgow and Sharks occurred. However, in the end, Glasgow overpowered them 35-24. Yet there is one last South African team. Munster stomped on the Stormers 34-18, ending one last team in South Africa that wasn't defeated on round 2. Chapter 4: Redemption. South African clubs were a laughingstock. They'd lost every battle, every single match in round 2. The first round hadn't been much better, but knowing that the 2 of these clubs ended up making it to the URC final just shocks and rocks me to my very core. I personally thought at this point, South African clubs would end up like Italian ones, in the URC with one good club, which was still mid-table. This round, however, was different. It started with the Ospreys, a team considered decent, losing 27-13 to the Sharks. One win for South Africa. Unfortunately, The Lions took a loss to Glasgow 13-9, but this isn't over yet. A wonderful draw happened between Edinburgh and Stormers 2020, and Bulls before tipped over Cardiff 29-19. This round was quite shocking. The majority of the rugby community hadn't expected this to be the other way round of slaughtering, but it wasn't. This was new to many people. No one had quite expected this. Round 3 was a success for South African teams, I'd say, but a failure for round 4. They lost one game in round 3, but 2 games in round 4. So what the hell happened in round 3? Well, it's probably to do with the climate and adjusting to the new play style of the leagues from the Currie Cup. South Africa, Ireland, Wales and Scotland are all very different climates, so I imagine when the game was played, it had a rather significant aspect. I mean, later, in the second rounds, the South African teams dominated. So honestly, I think it's all to do with the gosh darn climate. So, what's my conclusion? Well, in this video, I'm very wary of it getting boring, so I will conclude it here. In my opinion, South Africa will very soon adjust to the climate fully and will dominate the URC very well. I think that South Africa has an incredible future, and that is my final verdict. Thanks for watching, please subscribe. Only 97% you are. Thank you for watching, see you next time.